Statue of Liberty on a beautiful night here in Manhattan. Coming up next from Madison Square Garden, number 2 Georgetown and number 6 Xavier.
Thanks to some late game magic and a couple of big-time plays in overtime.
Miles again with a rebound and putback.
DC finest and Cincy's baddest are now 2 wins away from being crowned champions. These high-flying ballers ain't half-stepping on the hardwood. They super official. The Big East Tournament Semifinals continues next, only on Fox Sports 1.
And our thanks to Biz Marquis for the voiceover work there. I actually think I own a single of his. That's how far back I'm going, Biz Marquis, a single. Got it from my Colgate University days ahead of a spring break road trip. Biz Marquis providing the voiceover. Absolutely love that. Coming up next, Georgetown and Xavier. Want to know why the Musketeers are 5-7 versus ranked teams? Take a look at one of their practices.
He's going to come up and show a fist, and it's basically he's making a quick V. He's going to go up and go, James, I got you, boom, and right here, we got a basket on the other side.
Good thing not all practices are televised like the games. Coach Mack, he's intense. He gets after it.
Good, stay down. Good hands. Make a move, Jay. Make a move, and go get it, Jay.
I'd say practice is fast-paced. I think it's very, very competitive. I think that brings out the best in your team.
Move your feet, Matt. Move your feet.
I think that's what prepares us for games, is that we go really tough in practice and we put ourselves in game-like situations.
Just shoot it into him. Stay between him. Hey, pretty good defense. D, hell of a move. Good. Pressure him, Larry. Good. Stay down, left. Good.
He makes it seem like he's out there on the court playing with you, and it's hard not to feed off his energy.
Miles, good job not getting beat to the outside. Don't switch your dribble handoff. He's going to always open up and let you through. Don't switch your dribble handoff.
I'll demonstrate, but to think that I'm going to get out there at 44 years of age and play, I'm fooling myself. And the only way that I'm going to either score or defend is if the guy feels sorry for me on our team.
He's going to go like this. Matt, go midline. He's going to go like this, and he's going to give up. And he's going to be right here. If you'll just continue to go strong, go to the basket.
I personally spend more time on the defensive side of the ball. You know, I think offense will come if guys share the ball for an attacking team. I like to focus in on the defense because that's where you win, in my opinion.
Don't just yell gap. Tell Brandon, I'm right here, B. I'm right here, because I'm telling you, your man's going to be at 22, 25 feet, not doing anything. Make sure we build gaps on guys in the forward spot.
We can lock down defensively. It's going to be very, very tough for teams to beat us.
We're talking defensively. Ball screen defense, guys being ready to act. 1, 2, 3. Attack.
When someone's watching Xavier for the first time this year, they're going to see a high-powered offense. Any guy can score. It's, you know, you can shut off one guy one night, but guess what? You know, the next person will be ready to step up and take up the challenge.
I feel like we can be one of the top 3 teams in the Big East. I feel like we can be a higher seed than we were last year in the NCAA tournament. I feel like we can even make a good run. I think we could be a really special team here at Xavier.
Let's go. 3, 1, 2, 3. Attack.
Live look at Chris Mack, a head coach you have great respect for, KO.
I think, you know, I always hear Chris is a good young coach. Forget all the age stuff. He's a very, very good coach at both ends of the court.
The Musketeers going through their introductions. There is Matt Stainbrook, 39 points, 19 rebounds, 16 of 22 from the floor his last 2 games. Abel had some big buckets in last night's overtime victory.
I still think
that's what you think's important, right?
I still think he has to take care of the basketball. Yeah. I think he has to control the traffic, maybe control the tempo. And you know what? When the ball comes to him, knock down a shot. He's a terrific three-point shooter.
Xavier, they've won 3 of their last 4 versus the Hoyas as our cameras turn to Georgetown's starting lineup.
You know, both coaches are thinking right now, Rob, we want to get at Villanova, but they both know they need this to have a chance at Villanova.
KO, Xavier can't go into this game and get bullied, because that's what Georgetown wants to do. They want to intimidate you. Let's face it, I don't care which John Thompson is at the helm, right? They're intimidating. Xavier has to play through that, play basketball.
Speaking of bullying, Big Josh.
And Josh has to want it as well. You and I both know at times he's a little passive. Not going to be on the floor probably more than 25, 26 minutes. Got to make his presence felt early.
He does.
Smith Rivera so big last night, scored 12 of the team's final 14 points in their quarterfinal victory. That includes 7 for 7 from the free throw line. He is frisked and he's clean.
Rob, I love all the accolades and all the things we talk about DSR, but he's got to go get it from the beginning. I don't like that he waits.
He hasn't done that very often, Donnie.
He's got to start early. You're running out of time here.
Well, no bigger stage, right?
Absolutely
no bigger stage.
Speaking of running out of time, our time here in the pregame is at an end. We'll see you next at halftime. Now let's get it courtside for the call of this one. Gus Johnson, Jim Jackson. Gentlemen.
All right, Rob, thank you very much. And we are set for what potentially could be another good one here at the Garden as Georgetown and Xavier get ready to face each other. Xavier has beaten the Hoyas twice this year, but Georgetown, they're playing some of their best basketball.
And they are, but Xavier, the size and quickness, in particular on the perimeter, has held well against his Georgetown team. Let's see if that can continue this evening.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll start with the Musketeers. Farr with Bluiett, the freshman, their leading scorer at 12 again. Stainbrook in the middle, Abel, the Indiana transfer, and D. Davis, the point guard. For the Georgetown Hoyas, L.J. Peak, a freshman. Isaac Copeland, a freshman. Joshua Smith, what a game he had yesterday. Devontae Smith Rivera, the catalyst, and Jabril Trawick is their heart and soul. And this, folks, will be a battle between the big boys, Matt Stainbrook and Joshua Smith.
But with the beauty, I talked about the size of Xavier. Now they're able to play Joshua Smith, who's averaging about 10 points in the 2 games, versus Xavier one-on-one. That means you don't have to help. That doesn't allow open 3-point shots for Georgetown. Should be a good one inside.
Your officials for this evening's game: Mike Stevens, Pat Driscoll, and Jeff Clark. This series dates back to 1969. Xavier has won 7 of the 10 meetings, including both this season. Joshua Smith and Farr in the circle. And the toss and attack, and Georgetown controls.
On the pick and roll, keep your eye. Xavier wants to keep Smith Rivera closer to the sideline, get him out of the middle of the lane where he can do damage.
Here's Peak to Trawick. Smith wants the ball inside with Stainbrook. This is going to be fun to watch. Now Smith across the lane, lost it, picked up Trawick, banks it in, and draws a foul.
Well, you saw the quick double team come inside. A lucky bounce to Trawick underneath. You see the strategy, one-on-one defense, a quick poke at the basketball by Davis, but again, a lucky bounce inside to Trawick, who happened to be in the right place at the right time.
5 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals against Creighton last night for Trawick, but he was 1 of 5 from the field. Adds a free throw, and the Hoyas go up. On December 31st in Cincinnati, Xavier won 70-53 behind 17 points from Jalen Reynolds. Inside Stainbrook, and there you go. Josh Smith picks up his first foul less than a minute into the first half. The bracket here, Villanova advances. What a classic matchup as they defeat Providence 63-61. They await the winner of this one. So Matt Stainbrook going to the free throw line, named second team All Big East. Had 13 points and 10 rebounds. Double-double last night against Butler. The 19th of his college career. And the second free throw good.
And what Xavier loves to do is empty out the strong side corner. That way you can't rotate in. That allows Stainbrook to get open and get to the basket and get fouled.
Smith Rivera guarded by Abel, a very good defender. Inside Smith, jump hook off the glass and in.
Work done before the ball got there. That time Big Josh Smith put that big backside on Stainbrook, and it was nothing that he could do once the ball was entered inside.
Had one of his best all-around games of the season last night. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. And just 3 fouls in 21 minutes. Picked up one early, though, in this game. And Smith has to be concerned because Stainbrook is tricky. Jump hook off the glass, and there it is.
Does it remind you old school Big
Yes.
East basketball? You're going inside, inside, inside out. 2 big guys with soft touches inside.
Smith Rivera. Pick and roll, Troward rolls high. Gets down the lane, blocked by Stainbrook, but he traveled. And Troward is down.
The key to deep post position is getting your work done early right here. Big Joshua Smith able to seal Stainbrook inside, and if you can do it, I can do it a little bit better outside the lane, but how about the soft touch? Left hand, and then Troward, a little out of control right here. Gets inside. Good help by Stainbrook.
2 minutes gone by in the first half. Bluiett on the baseline, high archer. In and out. Peak clears it, strong side. Outlet pass, Troward. Now Smith again in the hole. Drop step baseline, pull up jump shot. Good. Whoa.
There's no way he's supposed to have a touch like that. But he read the defense, spent to the baseline. That allowed that jump hook to happen.
His confidence growing. Here's Stainbrook facing 12-footer. Loose, rebounded by Farr. D. Davis, high archer. Loose ball. And out of bounds. Xavier will hold on.
Josh Smith. Hey, look, listen, right now, he's pointing. Give me the rock. I can play. Stainbrook can't guard me. D. Davis comes, and basically the shadow of Joshua Smith. You really couldn't see Stainbrook after that.
Stainbrook and Smith both with 4 points. So we can see that these two teams are determined to get the ball to the big guys.
I love it. I love when you can play inside out. You trust.
Chris Mack in his 6th year at Xavier, commenting on the Butler game, we were resilient like we have been for about the last month. I told our guys that everyone was talking about a Butler-Georgetown semifinal, and it was disrespectful. Xavier beat Butler 67-61 in overtime last night in the quarterfinals. Bluiett explodes on the baseline. Miles Davis, they swing it. D. Davis down the lane. Now Stainbrook guarded by Hopkins. And Hopkins raking at the ball and a foul.
And that time Hopkins just has to be a little more patient because he had Stainbrook under control. Why reach at the end? Force Stainbrook, you wall up and force him to shoot over the top. That time you just bail him out with the reach in. But you see a little zone defense right here. 2-3 by Georgetown on an out-of-bounds play.
Inside Stainbrook. Reversal. Abel struggled with his shot yesterday. He's got injured fingers. Gets to the basket. Copeland with the board.
And what happens when you're struggling with your shot, Gus? You turn down an open opportunity and try to get closer to the basket. That time unable to convert by Abel.
Abel, though, was great in transition and played some solid defense on Kellen Dunham. Copeland. Smith Rivera, step back jump shot. Stainbrook with the board. Abel in transition, cut off by Troward. Two great athletes there, Troward and Abel. Now D. Davis wraps it, Miles Davis. Rebounded by Trowig. He just took it from Stainbrook. Xavier 1 for 6. But they started slow yesterday in both halves against Butler. Copeland, talented freshman, and a blocking foul coming up on D. Davis. .23 to go first half, 7-4, Hoyas. And welcome back to the Big East Tournament exclusively on Fox Sports 1, presented by New York Life. 15:23 to play in the first half. Georgetown on top of Xavier. Time now to join the third member of our team, the boss lady, Molly McGrath.
Gus, I don't know about Jim, but you and I were here past midnight last night because of Xavier's crazy overtime win against Butler. And I talked to Coach Chris Mack before the game about the quick turnaround. And he said that he usually doesn't hold a shoot-around in the second night of a back-to-back, but they had one today that ran about 50 minutes. He said the players were upbeat and ready to go and said, I don't buy into the quick turnaround being an issue. College kids stay up late anyway. And they don't look tired yet. They're still fighting, guys.
All right, thank you very much as we take a look at the season recap for the X-Men.
And then you see excellent offensive teams, in particular from the free throw line. D. Davis there with the assist, and the excellent freshman we talked about with Trevon Bluiett. And this team has the look, the size, the athletic ability. It's a matter of just consistently bringing it every night.
And Georgetown, looks like that was a backcourt violation, and Chris Mack is upset.
Well, no one from Xavier touched it.
Smith Rivera now peak, exploding to the basket, and a whistle. And they're going to call offensive basket interference. Georgetown packing the zone in.
And Bluiett at the free throw line, the ability not only to score from that position, but also to make some plays.
Bluiett, Abel steps into a jumper. Oh, and it's feeling better today. He said he wrapped his fingers. He's got some injured fingers on his right hand. His shot way off yesterday. He wrapped him, and he told me before the game that he feels much better.
Well, that shot looked extremely confident by Abel.
Meanwhile, Smith Rivera muscling his way to the basket.
Such a strong body. I mean, it's hard to defend because he gets up underneath you, but then he has the ability to fight through contact and finish.
Scored a game-high 25 points last night against Creighton, and 12 of those came in the final 3 minutes. D. Davis, the floater, looking for Jalen Reynolds. Knocked out of there. Here's boom! That reminds you of the old-school Georgetown Hoyas. Michael Graham, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, Allen Iverson, and Victor Page. 11-7. 5 baskets for Georgetown, all at the rim.
I tell you what, it's good to be young, Gus. I kind of miss these days when you can just throw it up and go get it. In transition, Georgetown, high flying act early on. Youth. I remember those days.
And you were pretty doggone good, buddy.
My goodness, a long time ago.
Averaging 26 points a game your junior year. 11-7. Baseline. Reynolds makes the catch. Can't lay it in. Copeland, another rebound.
I tell you, a heck of a recovery that time by Reynolds. Unable to gather, but you see the playmaking ability.
Smith Rivera. Josh Smith, and he tips it in, and a foul. How about Josh Smith? Look at the start for this big man. What an athlete.
Well, I'm just laughing at Miles Davis because you're doing the right thing to get up underneath Josh Smith, but what are you going to do? I mean, That right there, you know, you box him out and he's still able to use those soft mitts to tap it in.
Yesterday, the numbers for Smith. Big man adds a free throw. He's got great feet. He can pass. Decent free throw shooter. Josh Smith. He's got a bright future.
Well, it's never been about the talent. It's never been about the ability. It's always been about the commitment to getting in shape and doing the little things it would take for him to be an effective player. And he's turned that around under the tutelage here of Coach Thompson. And it's paid huge dividends for Georgetown.
Miles Davis, stop and start, gets to the basket and draws a foul. Copeland called for the foul. And this kid, as the years go on, is going to be an excellent basketball player in the Big East. Named to the Big East All-Rookie team. Jalen Reynolds comes out to screen for Miles Davis. Now D. Davis. Inside, a wide open Reynolds, and he'll just dunk it down. Jalen Reynolds has been playing some excellent basketball. 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting and 6 rebounds last night against Butler. And did I mention he's from Detroit?
Here we go.
14-9, Trowlick. Miles Davis pulling it down. And he'll lead the charge for the X-Men. And throw it away. Campbell. He's got Copeland. Copeland to the hole and fouled by Miles Davis.
And those are the turnovers. When that happens to Xavier a lot during the course of the season, they're just unforced. They kind of take away a little momentum, and Coach Mack understands that you can just eliminate those little mental errors. I think that gives you another game or two that you probably lost by committing too many of those mental errors.
Miles Davis called for second foul. So he most likely will check out of the game. Copeland gets it first. Isaac Copeland, 2 points and 3 rebounds last night against Creighton. As Davis goes out, Remy Abel back in. Isaac Copeland, the New Hampshire Player of the Year as a senior at Brewster Academy. Gets a second. Now Paul White coming in for Georgetown. Freshman from Chicago, Whitney Young High School, as Copeland goes to the bench. Trey Campbell also in, a freshman from St. John's in Washington, D.C. Guarding the ball right now. Stainbrook, 15-footer. And good. Matt Stainbrook off to a great beginning. 6 points, 16-11.
That time, excellent pocket pass by D. Davis, taking 2 dribbles down, clearing the defense, allowing Stainbrook to be open at the free throw line.
Trowlick leaves his feet. Dangerous pass claimed by White. Bowen. Inside, Trowlick tried to dump it down to Hopkins, and it's stolen away. 3rd turnover for the Hoyas. Smith Rivera getting ready to check back in. Now Stainbrook bumping and grinding. The kick, D. Davis. And a foul, Hopkins and Reynolds tied up. And this will go against Reynolds. (16-11), Georgetown on top of Xavier. Let's go inside the huddle. Actually, battle of the big men here.
Well, true battle of the balls right here in Madison Square Garden. Josh Smith showing the touch, 3 for 3 early in this game, 7-point. How about Matt Stainbrook saying I can do just as well inside, but also I got a feathery touch from the free throw line. Old school basketball.
Now let's go inside the huddle with John Thompson III.
We have to keep rebounding. We have to keep rebounding. Sprint back in transition. Number 10 is leaking out early. All right, so we got to make sure we get back.
And they're talking about Remy Abel getting out. He's terrific in transition.
What Xavier loves to get the ball up the sideline and attack from those angles once your shot goes up. Georgetown 7-3 on the boards right now, so doing an excellent job in that area. Transition defense against Xavier is always paramount.
Smith Rivera. Trey Campbell. Paul White. Josh Smith back in, guarded by Stainbrook. Campbell backs it up, 10 to shoot. They get it, Smith. That's where he wants it. Across the lane, up and in, and the foul. Woo. Joshua Smith, 9 points already.
Well, watch Josh look at the middle of the lane and wait for the traffic to clear. And that right shoulder right there in the chest of Matt Stainbrook pushes him back enough to create space. And what Xavier is going to have to do is figure out with Josh Smith now, are we going to come on the dribble or come right away to get the ball out of his hands? If he has 2, 3, 4 dribbles, Gus, you're not going to be able to stop him inside.
Josh Smith with 10 already. 1 foul, 10:32 to go. And I feel like I'm watching Bob Lanier or something right now.
I'm trying to tell you, man, it's good to see the post being utilized once again here in MSG.
Bluiett, deep three. Got it. He averaged 37 a game, Jimmy. I'm sure you were impressed with that kind of stuff when he was in Indiana in high school.
Such a beautiful stroke, but also the knowledge for the game at that young age, and fits in perfectly with the Xavier system.
Smith wants it again. Watch his passing ability. Drop step baseline. Stripped by Stainbrook. Gets it up again. No. And Smith knocks it out of play.
Yeah, well, Georgetown KYP understanding where Trevon Bluiett is at on the court. This time, if you help too much, he'll burn you from behind the three-point line.
KYP, know your personnel. Nice chip.
Like that.
Bluiett. Guarded by White, 2 freshmen, and a hand-checking foul called on White. That's his first.
Paul, see the ball. Watch behind your head.
Makura. And he rips one right off the bench.
You're talking about scoring in high school. He was a prolific scorer as well, but also you see the shooting range, the high rainbow, fresh in the game, lets it go. Love the confidence.
Smith to White, dials up a 3, and answers. Give the assist to Joshua Smith.
And that keeps the defense honest, because if you're able to knock down those kick-out three-point shots now, as a defensive team, you're in a quandary. Do I help? Or do I give up the 3?
22-17, Georgetown. And Smith with the steal. Campbell. Campbell for 3. Xavier the other way, D. Davis. Guarded by Smith Rivera. Could be a tough night for D. Davis. Now Stainbrook. He wants to back up. Drop step, lefty. Oh. Woo. Folks, when was the last time you had a chance to watch a game where 2 big men were really going at it? I'm talking about legitimate big guys in the college game.
Classics. That's it. I mean, that's the last time you were able to see it.
And the officials doing a great job allowing them to play. Trowell at the 3. Stainbrook with the rebound.
And what you didn't see was Josh Smith playing Stainbrook with his chest.
Bluiett. And Smith Rivera with the rebound. Smith Rivera 3. Up and down they go, folks. Fluid action in the first half. 7:40 to play. The winner to advance to the final tomorrow to take on the top-seeded Villanova Wildcats. Ooh. And a foul away from the ball. And that's Josh Smith picking up his second. 7:30 to go. 22-19. Back after this. All right, let's take a look at our game summary.
Both teams pretty proficient from the field. You see Stainbrook and Smith going at it, but the difference also being that points in the paint favors Georgetown 10-6. And for Xavier, the ability to knock down jump shots has been the key. Remy Abel been struggling as of late, but knocking it down. The young freshman Bluiett and also Macura able to knock it down in the corner.
22-19, but for Georgetown, Josh Smith picked up his second foul, so he has to sit. Macura at the line. J.P. Macura 0 for 4 last night against Butler in his third start of the season. 6 points at Creighton on Saturday. He averaged, as you take a look at Smith, 32 points a game as a senior at Lakeville North High School in Minnesota. FoxSports.com named him one of the top 10 shooters in the nation last year.
And he's not concerned with going 0-6, and that's what you want, especially from a young player. That is a new game and new opportunity. Extreme amount of confidence for that young man.
Smith Rivera. Copeland, the runner. Reynolds with a rebound. Macura ahead of the field. Reynolds wisely pulls up and finds a guard. Inside, far, blocked by Hopkins. But Reynolds hustles it down. Shot clock does not reset. 13 to shoot. Macura. Boom. Woo. Young fella. He's got a block burner, folks. First lead of the game for Xavier.
0 for 6 what?
Chris Mack allowing him to gain confidence with consistent playing time. Smith Rivera. Bluiett another rebound. D. Davis. Let's see if they go to Macura again. Here he is. Guarded by Trowett. And Macura. Oh my. He may have stepped on Trowett's foot.
Let's take a look right as he's turning the corner, up in the air. How many times have we seen it? You come down, and that time is almost like the point of his toe is what caused the ankle to turn over more so than stepping on somebody's foot. And we'll see right here. Yeah, no, he caught it right on the outside. Yes, just a little bit on Trowett's foot, and hopefully, a lot of times, Gus, we see that where could be a quick tweak, but I don't know. He seems in an extreme amount of pain.
And Jimmy, I don't understand, maybe because I'm getting old here, a lot of these players are playing in these low-top, three-quarter type sneakers. And when you played,
they were higher, but these shoes are also softer. Okay? So they're not as stiff. The leather.
Is that a good thing?
Well, what they want is to make the shoe lighter for the player. But when you do that, you lose the stability and support.
Okay. Trowett got a hand on it and comes up with the steal. Copeland. Trowlick hopping to the basket, off the glass, no. And the rebound goes to Farr. Farr's their glue guy. Folks, he can do a little bit of everything, and he's a leader on this team.
And missed his only shot the other night, but did have 5 rebounds.
And he can't hit the 3. Went open. To the basket, Bluiett, and a foul. And Trevon Bluiett will go to the line. Makura taken into the locker room. I'm sure Molly McGrath will have a report on his status as soon as she knows something. And he's in some pain. Trevon Bluiett at the line. Had a chance to go virtually anywhere in the country, except for maybe Kentucky. Was scheduled to go to UCLA, but he has a little brother, and he wanted to stay close to home.
It's also the offense, the style of play fits his game.
Reynolds with the offensive rebound. New shot clock for Xavier. On top now. Watch Reynolds. He's talented inside. Oh, blocked by Hopkins. Great job by Michael Hopkins. Pete. Now Abel on the move.
What a block that time.
Hopkins and Reynolds talking to each other a little bit.
Oh, yeah. 2 players that can play way above the rim. That's excellent help side defense.
Xavier on a 13-3 run. Abel dumps it down to Reynolds again. Reynolds jump hook. Stainbrook offensive rebound. And a lay it in.
What you didn't see was a little nudge underneath. Stainbrook was able to get away with in order to secure that offensive rebound. That move.
Stainbrook with 10 points and 4 rebounds.
Good turn.
27-22. Xavier, baseline. Hopkins, double team. Trowlick somehow holds on to it. Forced it up and gets it to fall. And a timeout called by Georgetown with 3:51 to go in the first half. They are battling it out at the world's most famous arena.
You can start by.
Georgetown led this game at one point, 19-11. Since then, the X-Men have gone on a 15-5 run. Makura with 7 during the run before his injury. Matt Stainbrook has 10. Stainbrook calling for it with Hopkins on his back. He likes to back his man down right here. Repositions himself. Pump fake. Jump hook. YMCA. Oh, man's league.
That's right.
Well, they'll run you out of the gym. Matt Stainbrook, 5 of 6.
But I love the fact that they clear the strong side corner to give Stainbrook one-on-one opportunities. That way you can't help that YMC game. Working.
Outlet pass, Bluiett. He finds Abel. That one thrown at his feet. Hard to handle for Remy Abel. Davis feeding the post. Reynolds. Jump hook right hand. And good. He's got some talent down there, Jimmy.
You know what I'm impressed about is the fact that Xavier is not going away from playing inside out. A lot of times when it's easy, the tendency is to go away from it and start shooting jump shots. Xavier is staying consistent with it.
Meanwhile, Georgetown answering on the other end. Copeland with 4 now.
And with Joshua Smith not being in the lineup, you want to exploit that as much as you can.
31-26. Stainbrook. Pick and roll, Abel, 18-footer. And banks it in straight ahead.
Did he call it?
I heard it.
Did he call it?
I heard it. 33-26. Xavier playing excellent basketball in the first half. They've defeated Georgetown twice this year. Ten to shoot. And the Hoyas almost turn it over again. Possession arrow favoring the Musketeers. 33-26.
Hey, guys, somewhere the members of the Village people are smiling right now with this YMCA game. But getting it done inside, and Jalen Reynolds, not to be outdone, a nice little soft jump hook to the baseline. Xavier feeling good about themselves right now. And Remy Abel. Glass! I heard him call it. Money.
Rob Stone welcoming me back to Madison Square Garden. Coming up at the half, you'll hear Ed Cooley's emotional post-game speech to his Friars, plus a top 5 team falls, and they may have lost a #1 seed, and a buzzer beater from Brooklyn. Gus, Jim, we'll see you at the break.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. The Pope taking time from his busy schedule. A lot of prayers hoping to be answered here. 33-26.
You need to stay over there. I need to holler at him about a couple things that need taken care of in my life. I don't know if he can help me, though, guys. I might be too far along.
No, I think you're all right, man. I think you're all right. I need to talk to him, too. So right now, the Xavier Musketeers on a 22-7 run in the last 9 minutes. Xavier started 1 for 7 shooting. Since then, they're 11 of 16.
And remember, Josh Smith out of the game allows Xavier to really take advantage of the paint.
He went out around the 7:30 mark. 10 points for Smith. Stainbrook, he has 12. Inside Reynolds, and he's fouled by White. Jalen Reynolds, 3 things you need to know about him. One of them, he says that if he doesn't play basketball in the professional ranks, he'll go on to be a model.
Is that a Detroit thing? Is that a Detroit thing?
Kinda.
What was the last model from Detroit?
Model T.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
33-26. Baseline Copeland. And Reynolds with a rebound. 43 seconds to go. D. Davis will start the offense on the left wing with Bluiett. Now Stainbrook. Across the lane, shows it. Fade away, short this time. And out of bounds. With 27.6 to go.
At that time, that was just excellent defense. Didn't allow Stainbrook to kind of get into his sweet spot. Walled up. Shot was short. Excellent box out that time on Reynolds underneath as well.
Reynolds picks up the foul, his second. So Trowick at the free throw line. Jabril Trowick from Philadelphia. And he misses the front end. So Xavier will play for 1 shot. Up by 7. Excellent first half for Chris Mack's squad. They're always so prepared for every game. Terrific coach, Stainbrook, again. And nice hands by Smith Rivera with 4.9 to go. And Coach Mack calls timeout. 4.9 seconds remaining in the first half. Xavier up 33-26.
It's a
4.9 seconds remaining here in the first half. Xavier with an excellent first half of basketball, leading Georgetown. Gus Johnson, Jimmy Jackson, and Molly McGrath with you.
Part of situational basketball, to see the play you draw up, you can get a good look at the basket. Solid defensively for Georgetown. You can't allow a slip to the basket and get an easy one for Xavier.
D. Davis, the inbounder, able, explodes, the runner. Stainbrook with the tip up and in. And that's how the Musketeers will close the first half on a 24-7 run in the last 10 minutes.
It's only fitting that the way the game was going on, that a big fella, Matt Stainbrook, able to wedge his way inside the soft tip to give Xavier the 7-point lead, riding high going into halftime.
Stainbrook with 14 points and 6 rebounds in the first half. Xavier shooting 50% in the half. And now let's go to Molly McGrath, who's standing by with John Thompson III.
Thanks, Gus. Coach, early on, Josh Smith was unstoppable in the post. How do you want him to approach that matchup with Stainbrook moving forward?
Well, we have to keep going back to him. I think Stainbrook and their other big guys are getting too deep. They're getting post position too deep at the latter part of the half.
Devontae Smith-Rivera with just 2 points in the first half. What do you need to do to get him going?
We need to get him going. We have to set some screens for him, get him some shots.
All right, thanks, Coach. Gus, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Molly. That's the end of the first half with the score. Xavier 35, Georgetown 26. You're watching the Big East Tournament exclusively on Fox Sports 1. We'll send you to our studio and Rob Stone right after this.
We welcome you back to a beautiful night here in New York City. At the break in our second semifinal of the night. Earlier, Villanova survived Providence by 2. Georgetown getting all it can handle and then some from your 6th seed Xavier Musketeers. Matt Stainbrook with the tip in right at the halftime whistle, and it's the Musketeers up by 9 at the break. In the pregame show leading up to this one, we talked about the big men of this one, Joshua Smith, Matt Stainbrook. They both have been very impactful for a lot of different reasons. Joshua Smith, he just needs more minutes, Dio.
Listen, maybe it's my never-ending need for that Big East basketball that I fell in love with as a player in the conference, to see bigs going at it. And that's what we saw early in this game. Joshua Smith doing a great job scoring 10 points, but in 8 minutes, that means he's got some foul trouble. KO on the other side. How about Matt Stainbrook, man? He really showed up. He can knock down a jumper.
He can't even jump over a dime.
You're right.
He can score.
So smart. It's incredible how smart this kid is.
Now, let me check my notes for the first time this year. Josh Smith, I know you're shocked, Donnie.
I'm trying to see what the date is.
Left at 7:30 left in the half. Georgetown's up 22-19. They're down 35-26.
Great point.
Josh Smith.
There's nothing written on that note.
There is right there.
No, there is.
Our stat guy, Josh, wrote it on there
Yeah,
for
but
me.
you didn't write it.
I didn't write it.
Josh Smith was in double figures halfway through the first half, and then a huge run for the Musketeers. They closed out the last 10 minutes, 24-7 run, and they are up and threatening to drop the Hoyas for the 3rd straight time this season. When we return.
Welcome back. Our score, Xavier on top of Georgetown in a 2 versus a 6 game, 35-26. I tell you what, Chris Mack, such a strategist. He has his guys ready to play all the time, and the first half was a perfect example.
It's a matter of matchups, and he understands that his team matches up very well with this powerful Georgetown team because they have size, athleticism, and quickness on the perimeter, and that's why they've been able to hold serve in regards to Georgetown 2-0 during the season.
And John Thompson III saying that Xavier's big men are getting too deep. How do you keep them from getting so deep, Reynolds and Stainbrook?
Well, both sides have utilized both big players, I thought, fabulously. Josh Smith had to get out the game, but it's early. By always being able to get inside and do your work early. Now when you have a big body like Josh Smith, it's just hard to get around him. And combine the big body with a soft touch. Unfortunately, he went out because of foul trouble. And Matt Stainbrook, a lot of the offense for Xavier runs through him either at the high post or low post, and he's able to finish and then able to cap off an excellent first half with this tip in right before halftime.
Now let's take a look at the AT&T Fast analysis of the first half.
Field goals, you see Xavier right there, 50%, and three-point shooting is the X factor for Xavier.
All right, let's go to Molly McGrath.
Thanks, Gus. At the half, I saw Xavier's J.P. McCure in a wheelchair with medical staff. He was just helped back out to the bench, but Coach Chris Mack told me that he will not be playing in the second half. He has a badly twisted right ankle. It is wrapped up, but good news, X-rays were negative, guys.
Now McCure came in the game and he was instant offense. In 7 minutes he scored 8 points.
And he gives you the threat. So you put him on the side with Stainbrook. Then now it's tough to dig or double team because you know that he can knock down shots.
Georgetown in gray with the ball to start the second half. Copeland, 15-footer. And Farr with the rebound.
And those are the shots Copeland has been allowed to take, but he hasn't been able to knock them down. An easy, nice little 12-foot jump shot.
Copeland 1 of 4 from the field. D. Davis. Bluiett. Nice look to Stainbrook. And count it. The foul. Josh Smith picks up his third.
The pick and roll is effective when you take 2 dribbles off, and now that allows Stainbrook to clear enough space to get the pass inside again. To absorb the contact, to finish inside. Excellent pocket pass by the young freshman, Bluiett.
Stainbrook adds a free throw, and he is really cooking this evening. 17 points and 6 rebounds on 7 of 9 shooting. Largest lead of the game for Xavier.
And that's the kind of opening possession you look for if you're Xavier coming out of halftime with momentum on your side.
Smith, no this time, denied by Stainbrook and Farr. Baseline, Abel slicks across the lane and lays it in. 40-26. The Musketeers in complete control. Georgetown looking a bit confused. Smith, backdoor, Copeland. And Smith Rivera has not been able to find shots, only 2 points. He's 1 of 5. Campbell batted out by Trowick. And Trowick foul tripped by Bluiett.
You see the dribble drive. I talked about this earlier, guys. What Xavier wants to do is push it up the sideline and then attack. And right now for Georgetown, it's just been a tough going for your perimeter players for Devontae Rivera-Smith, but also Isaac Copeland had some good shots on the baseline, not able to knock him down. Need some help for Josh Smith.
So here's Smith Rivera. Trowick saves it. Well, he tried to save it and couldn't.
Always a difficult pass, going to your left, throwing back across your body.
Davis. Bluiett, deep jumper. That's a brick, rebounded by Smith Rivera. He's got Campbell on his wing. Smith Rivera spinning inside, double clutch off the glass, no. But he will go to the line and shoot 2.
And that's a case of where you take a shot that doesn't hit rim and bounces out, and now you allow Smith Rivera to use his quickness and strength to get out of transition.
First one good. Close to a 90% free throw shooter. 3 things you need to know. Oatmeal cream pie, his favorite junk food. seeing people have injuries, and education opportunity and network. Second free throw good.
You get that at Georgetown. And to play one of the best college basketball conferences in the country.
Far. And Stainbrook, the runner, and it goes down. That's Stainbrook with 19 points.
Not always fluid, but highly effective.
Smith Rivera leaves his feet. They swing it. Trowick. And a foul coming up. Trowick knocked to the ground.
I guess you can call this being nifty and nimble by Stainbrook right there with his version of the runner in the lane. Just gets it up. Oh, awesome, man. Little junkyard dog action there.
Copeland. Trowick. Forced it up. Knocked out of play, and Xavier basketball.
Well, you see what the lack of having perimeter shooters does? Now you're pressing, trying to get closer to the basket. Stress is on the offensive end for Georgetown.
Hoyas during stretches this season have had problems hitting jump shots. Stainbrook knocked away by Josh Smith. That guy saw his life flash in front of him. If Smith would have gone over the table.
It wouldn't have been pretty, buddy. It wouldn't have been pretty. I'm going to tell you. Early in the first half when Miles Davis was checking him out, and all that weight was come crashing down, yeah? Couldn't have done that before.
And a foul, hand-checking peek on D. Davis.
I love the misdirection action when the ball comes back across for Xavier. A slip, quick slip, pick and roll with Favre, but then Stainbrook right and follows right behind.
Inside Stainbrook again with Hopkins on his back. He goes into his dance, leans in, tipped up, far. Stainbrook gets another rebound. He has 8 rebounds to go along with his 19 points. Bluiett. D. Davis, 12 to shoot. Ball knocked away by Copeland. 4 to shoot. Abel. Big time jumper right there. Remy Abel coming into his own in this game. Smith Rivera rims off. D. Davis with a rebound, and he's fouled from behind. The Xavier Musketeers proved that they had Georgetown's number during the regular season, and now in the semifinals of the Big East tournament, the X-Men coming up with all the big plays And they lead Georgetown big, 45-28. Looking forward to tomorrow. If Georgetown continues to falter. To play in the second half, 45-28. Xavier. And the Xavier defense stifling these Hoyas.
It's all about matchups, and defensively you see where Georgetown is shooting the basketball, field goal wise, 3-point rebound. Sometimes it just happens to be that way in regards to matchups, but my man, Matt Stainbrook just opens up so much for this Xavier team. Yes, it's the scoring, but it's the threat that he can score that opens up three-point plays, and he's showing us a little bit of everything, whether that's off the dribble, but it's his ability to make plays for his teammates that allow him to have one-on-one defense and scoring opportunities inside.
He's such a great kid, and it's well known about his part-time job as an Uber driver, but just having a chance to be around Matt. He always has a big smile and a warm handshake for you. And he's the kind of person that you can just tell that all of his teammates not only respect him, but they like him as well.
And why not? This is the best time of your life in college. You're playing the game that you love on a high level.
Remy Abel on the baseline. Here's a pick and roll. Davis wraps it around Reynolds, and he gets decked by Hopkins. So Hopkins picks up his second 15 foul against the Hoyas. That ball thrown out of bounds. And D. Davis, not sure what he was looking for.
Yeah, he saw two players and he tried to throw it over the top, I think it was Bluiett right there or Abel, but he got caught in between on who to throw it to.
Xavier winning both matchups this year, 70-53, 66-53 against Georgetown. Hopkins, the runner, no. Farr with a rebound. Xavier doing a nice job boarding tonight.
They're doing a nice job of contesting shots, whether behind the arc or as you saw on the last drive. Not gonna win that battle right there, man. You gotta move, big fella.
Reynolds steps out.
And that's the difference. Jalen Reynolds can't back Smith down, but you can bring him out on the perimeter and use your quickness to your advantage.
19-point lead and a foul inside. Looks like it'll be called against Xavier. And that will be called on Reynolds, his third, as Stainbrook prepares to come back in.
His third, team's fourth.
You'll get right back.
Inside Smith, great position. Taps it up a couple of times, can't get it to fall. Georgetown getting nothing from the perimeter.
At all, and that time Smith wedged out enough position, but not able to finish inside.
D. Davis. Beautifully done by the little man. He has his first bucket of the game. And Xavier with a 49-28 lead.
And because you have Trevon Bluiett in the corner, the help couldn't come in time. Easy layup for Davis.
Peak off the mark. Stainbrook with his 9th rebound. to go along with 19 points, so he's closing in on a double-double. And a turnover. Bluiett, but Abel hustling, and he hits the sideline out of bounds. Time for our Lexus playbook.
The key to any kind of successful defense is that you communicate, and right here on the back line, because you have to stay on the outside on the shooter, no one rotates over to take D. Davis inside. Easy layup, and that's not how you draw it up, and the defense is supposed to act on the string. That time just kind of left the defender out to dry.
Paul White in the game now. Baseline Trowick, and he'll bank it in.
Oh, that time, Trowick initiated the contact with his left shoulder right into the chest of Stainbrook.
Miles Davis in the game now, tripping, picked up by Bowen. Smith-Rivera the other way. Hopkins blocked by Stainbrook. Hopkins again, and he's fouled. And I'll tell you what, when you look at these Hoyas, they have struggled, but it's not because of a lack of effort. You see them still really trying to gut it out here and play hard.
It's a physical game inside, and you got to man up a little bit if you want to play. And made the point that this Georgetown team, the lack of perimeter shooting hurts them, but the effort is always going to be there.
But just to further along your point in terms of perimeter scoring, John Thompson's team 1 for 10 from the three-point line, 11 of 33 overall, 33%. And Hopkins misses both free throws. Georgetown 21-9 on the year, 12-6 during the regular season in conference play, and a foul on Smith-Rivera. But it's been all Xavier. The X-Men looking to play in the Big East Tournament Championship. They're 11:50 away.
Imagine a play.
In our first game of the evening, Chris Dunn comes up with a steal. And Providence managed to tie it up with Villanova, but then closing moments, Arcidiacono fouled, hit the free throws. Then Ladante Hinton, desperation Hail Mary did not land, and Ed Cooley got the win taken out of him because Villanova holds on to beat Providence. So tomorrow, it's the Villanova Wildcats against the winner of this game for the Big East Tournament Championship. Now let's go inside the huddle with Chris Mack.
We got that war. All right, we got that war. We got to continue to rebound.
Real simple. Continue to rebound. Shots are going to go up. Stick to your principles. Finish out the game.
Right now, Xavier out rebounding Georgetown 26-15. That's Stainbrook. Excellent evening. 19 points, 9 boards.
I think it proves with Stainbrook that you don't have to be the most athletic player to be effective on the court, rebounding, scoring. What's in between your ears matters just as much as being athletic.
Davis being harassed by the Georgetown defense. And he turns it over. Bowen in the front court. Bowen takes a jump shot. 1 for 11 from the three-point line. And a foul on the sideline.
Taking the foul charge number 40, Matt Stainbrook.
And that foul called on Stainbrook, his third.
Xavier switching up to a little zone and trap in the corners.
Hopkins turns it over. D. Davis, he's got Miles Davis on the wing. Inside, Jalen Reynolds, and he's fouled by Smith Rivera. Frustration, maybe, for the Hoyas.
Saw them that last possession. You jump in the air, you throw a pass in the middle of the lane. Hopkins, easy steal for Xavier to get out, and great patience by Davis to allow Reynolds to run the floor.
Josh Smith coming back in, and Hopkins will take a seat. X-Men so patient offensively. Miles Davis, how about that? Oh! Stainbrook misses the layup.
Stainbrook is last one of the few miscues, but it was an excellent executed play. Just not able to finish the little bunny.
Trowick. Smith can't hold on, out of bounds. And last touch by Xavier.
I tell you what, Trowick is, I mean, just always on the tap, looking to, he looks for contact, you know, when he gets inside. I think sometimes he goes up so strong, Gus, that if the contact doesn't come, he's not able to finish because he anticipates the contact.
Smith Rivera three, and hits. That's what they need. Smith Rivera with 23 last night. He has 7 right now, only 2 at halftime.
Well, when you score now, you can pick up full court. See if you can force Xavier into another turnover.
And a timeout called by the Musketeers. 9:59 to go. 49-33. And the bracket here, the 2015 Big East Tournament. Villanova advances by narrowly defeating Providence 63-61, and they'll take on the winner of this game, Xavier and Georgetown. And that brings us to our New York Life Keep Good Going stat.
Offense, get your name in the paper on the highlights, but as you see right here on the defensive end, it gets you in a position to compete for championships. And Xavier right now just smothering the Georgetown offense, not allowing anything easy tonight here at MSG.
(49-33). Now D. Davis guarded by Trey Campbell.
You know, a rule was discussed about not allowing you to reset that clock in 10 seconds, like the NBA when you have take it out on the side.
And Smith Rivera now picks up his 4th foul. And that will send Xavier to the line to shoot 1 and 1. Smith Rivera will have to head to the bench. And Trowick comes back in. Smith Rivera, 7 points on 2 of 7 shooting, 1 for 5 from the 3-point line. Davis, Miles makes the first. Stainbrook on the bench. 1 rebound away from a double-double. Go along with his 19 points. Both free throws good for Miles Davis. 51-33.
And when your best player struggles, and we saw it earlier with Hinton, it just puts so much pressure on the other players who normally can't step up or not in that position to do so.
Trowick. Georgetown 2 for 12. Miles Davis, no. Trowlick with the board. Josh Smith tumbles. White for 3. 2 of 13.
This one.
And the Musketeers have it again.
They can't turn them down. They're open opportunities. White that time disappointed, had a good look at it. But those are shot guts that you still have to take.
Georgetown started 8 for 12 tonight. Since then, folks, 4 for 26.
Yeah, but most of those 12 came from big fella inside, too.
Miles Davis, he'll take the jump shot for 3. Rims out. Reynolds with the rebound, and he's fouled by Joshua Smith, who picks up his 4th. And Smith will head out of the game with 8:44 to go. So Jalen Reynolds at the line. And the first good. And what's the book on Jalen Reynolds?
You see it right there, supreme athlete. We haven't seen those highlight plays yet, but he can get up and go, and excellent in transition. And we've seen on occasion and during the Big East season that you can go to Jalen and he can produce some pretty good numbers out of the post. He's worked on his 12 to 15-foot jump shot.
Second free throw good for Jalen Reynolds. Remember, he's only a sophomore. He's got a lot of time, and he continues to improve. 8 points, 5 rebounds.
It's all about refining his game and his fundamentals.
Bowen, a 3. Wow. That tells you all you need to know about the Hoyas and their shooting tonight.
And we can overemphasize the fact that you're open for a reason.
Exactly.
And it's tough sledding when you can't knock down shots, man.
Baseline Bluiett. Here's Campbell. He's got Bowen trailing. Campbell to the hole. Missed the layup. And out of bounds.
And when it's going bad, even shots like that normally you make at a high percentage, you just won't go in.
And the foul called on Bowen, his first 19th foul against Georgetown. White out of the game. Copeland back in. Miles Davis will shoot. Trowlick down the lane and fouled. Oh, there's a pushing and shoving going on right now. Reynolds, Trowlick. And a technical foul called on Reynolds. Let's take a look.
And we said the game was physical, and Trowlick attacks the basket all the time. It's a little push in the back right there. Trowlick was
and that's frustration right now for the Hoyas. That wasn't too hard of a tap by Reynolds. But Matt Stainbrook, he's having a huge game tonight. We call him YMCA. It's old school, folks, but effective. He's done it in a multitude of ways, rebounding as well. And the Xavier Musketeers are 7:53 away from the championship game.
Incredible, top competition looking more edible. Waging war with a lore, gonna be regrettable. People like you are so easily forgettable. Playing against me, so your talents ain't accessible.
And we'll go back as we take a look at our game summary.
The shooting says it all for Xavier versus Georgetown, and Josh Smith not getting much help on the perimeter. Easy to double team inside. And you see his counterpart, Matt Stainbrook, 19 points, 9 rebounds.
So flagrant one on Jalen Reynolds. 2 shots in the ball. And here's the difference between a flagrant 1 and a flagrant 2.
And you see right there the personal foul that's excessive, but not based on the severity of the act, and 2 free throws in the flagrant 2. And a lot of times, you know, in a game that is physical as this is, the officials will try to navigate their way through to keep it competitive, but also they don't want anything to break out that really may cause some harm to these individuals.
Remember, a couple years ago, the Cincinnati Xavier game, Matt Stainbrook a part of that disaster.
Emotions run high, in particular in this situation. Georgetown, you're not playing well, you're frustrated. Any little thing can kind of tip you over the edge, and that's something you don't want to see.
Did you ever get a flagrant 2? You ever been ejected from a game?
I've been ejected, but that was for running my mouth. And I got my money's worth once I did it, once I got out too, but not for. And I've got a couple flagrant fouls as far as like grabbing to ensure that somebody didn't get a layup, not intentionally trying to hurt anybody, but my mouth got me in trouble a few times.
Smith Rivera. 7:53 to play, 53-36. Copeland, baseline Trowik. Copeland rises and hits. 6 points for Copeland. Full court pressure now by Georgetown.
Yeah. Score, set your defense, see if you can create a turnover.
Look at the versatility of Farr, being able to bring the ball into the front court. And the foul coming up.
It's been tough sledding right now. You can't complain about the shot if you're Georgetown. A lot of open and good rhythm looks, but just not able to find the bottom of the nets. And on a night when your hopes were high, you want to get to a championship game, not making shots, well, I tell you, put so much strain and pressure on your defense, because now you have to be more than perfect to stop your opposing team.
So Remy Abel at the line. He has 10 points tonight. Paul White comes back in for Bowen. And Abel missing both. Time left in this game if the Hoyas can figure out a way to right their own ship.
And Xavier is helping their cause by missing shots.
Copeland may be a remedy. Georgetown on a 7-0 run since the technical. Down by only 13 now.
And you can't get cautious. You still have to be aggressive if you're Xavier. Things that were working for you early in this game to build the league, you don't want to go away from.
Hoyas look a little inspired, a little more inspired on defense. Hopkins poking it out of Stainbrook's hand.
Well, you see the energy level. It's shifted right now. It's on Georgetown's side. Xavier right now is really content with playing on the perimeter. They got to pick up their level of intensity to match Georgetown's right now.
Davis with 6 to shoot. Pulls up for 3. That's an air ball. And a shot clock violation. So now the Georgetown defense stiffening up. Copeland. Getting a couple of shots. That's what they need from the perimeter. The kid is a major talent, Copeland. But a freshman. Let's see if they go back to him, or if he can loosen some things up for Smith Rivera. Trowick a three. Got it! And the lead now only 10. And Chris Mack calls a timeout. Georgetown supporters on their feet. This one not over. Hoyas on a 10-0 run since the technical foul. And with 5:58 to go, 53-43 the score.
Trowick knocking it in, cutting the lead to 10 points in the bench. But Georgetown is loving it.
(53-43). Georgetown trying to come back. Isaac Copeland coming up big, finally knocking down some perimeter shots.
Yeah, the talented freshman kind of finding his range right here at the free throw line, providing a little spark that was much needed for the Georgetown Hoyas to make this run.
Copeland had a stretch for 3 straight games. He was in double figures in mid-February against Seton Hall, St. John's, and DePaul. Jalen Reynolds back in. Musketeers went away from Stainbrook. Now they go back to him, and a foul. So Stainbrook goes to the free throw line. Hopkins with his third. He'll shoot 2.
And once again, Hopkins in good position, guys. But then the reach in and trying to play too physical, you build. It make the call easy for the official to send Stainbrook to the line.
Xavier has missed 5 free throws in a row.
But maybe it was a good foul. This is the way that Xavier's going to shoot down the stretch and can't put this game away.
Stainbrook hits the second. 20 points now. 54-43. Inside Copeland again, and he gets a roll.
It's too easy, guys. Copeland is just able to get right to his sweet spot. No denial on the pass, no pressure.
The Hoyas, though, if they want to get back into this game, they can't over-defend and foul. Davis, the runner, and another foul.
And these are the type of fouls here. You're playing good, pretty good defense, and then at the last moment,
you bail them out.
Bail them out. And speaking of defense, we put up that snapshot of Xavier's defense and how effective it was, but the last 4 or 5 possessions, it's failed them. Where's the intensity on that end of the court that pretty much stymied this Georgetown offense all night?
E. Davis, though, off the mark. One for their last 7 at the line. And he missed them both. 54-45. A basket here will make it interesting. Copeland has been the hot man. Let's see if they keep riding him. White to Copeland. Tied up, and the possession arrow favors Xavier.
I tell you what, that time Jalen Reynolds jumped out too far and opened up that little pocket pass right here. Jalen has to stay disciplined with his defense, able, luckily for Xavier, to get away with it. But you know Copeland wants to get in the middle. You have to start to play a lot bigger and more active with your hands if you're Xavier while playing this zone defense.
Stainbrook. Trevon Bluiett. Xavier's gone 9 minutes without a field goal. Matt Stainbrook can't hold on.
And see, that time, Trevon Bluiett wasn't ready to shoot. He thought about it.
Copeland in the corner. Got it! I told you he has a tremendous ability to put the ball in the hole when his confidence is there. And all of a sudden, with an eternity remaining, we've got a 54-48 game.
The young freshman playing like a veteran. Coach, put me in the game. I'm hot.
And give me the ball. 4:08 to play. Don't go away, folks. A lot on the line. (54-48) Xavier. The Musketeers have led by as many as 21, but this young man, Sir Isaac Copeland, has led them on a 15-1 run. Copeland scoring 9 of the points, and if I'm Georgetown right now, I feel like I can win this game.
And you should, because now the energy for Xavier is down, and it's hard to get that back. To try to match the intensity that Georgetown has is going to take an extreme amount of effort for Xavier.
And the building has come to life. During the season, Xavier has had games in which they've gone into scoring droughts as well. Abel. Stainbrook with 12 to shoot. Wraps it around. D. Davis, pump fake, down the lane, the kick, Bluiett in the corner. And hits. That's a big bucket there. 57-48. Baseline, Copeland again. Wow, what a performance. He had 4 points at halftime, 15 now. Almost single-handedly bringing this Hoya team back into this game.
Well, he's doing an excellent job finding the gaps.
Oh, and Stainbrook just whizzes it out of play.
And they're looking to see somebody hit it, but nobody hit that. Copeland, once again, I am the man.
It's a significant.
Guys, 2:55 to go. 57-50 Xavier. These two teams playing for a trip to the Big East Tournament Championship. Xavier up by 21 at one point, but Sir Isaac has brought him back.
Conventional wisdom would say if Georgetown got back in the game, it'd be Smith Rivera or Josh Smith, but it's been the young freshman stepping into the role of go-to guy. Excellent job of finding the seams and gap, and single-handedly, offensively, got Georgetown back in the game.
Georgetown scored 33 points in the first 32 minutes. But since then, they've scored 17 points in 5 minutes, led by Copeland with 11 of those points. And that's all since the technical foul.
Technical foul, also the lapse of attention to detail, intensity on the defensive end by Xavier. Now that affected how non-aggressive and less aggressive they've been on the offensive end of the court.
One thing you got to realize about this kid, Isaac Copeland, he's 6'9", originally from Raleigh, North Carolina. White a three. Batted out. Smith Rivera. That's not White's shot. Not in this moment. Copeland cross court. Thought about it. Trowick driving and foul. And that's the 8th team foul, which will send Trowick to the line.
That was
to shoot 1-and-1.
Excellent recognition, knowing that Matt Stainbrook was rushing out to close out. Drove right by him on the baseline.
Georgetown 20 of 26 at the line last night, 77% shooting. A major improvement over some of the team's free throw performances of late. Trowick is 2 of 4 tonight. And he gets it first. A lot of time left in this game.
And their ability to get to the free throw line and make baskets, I think, took the aggressiveness away from Xavier, knowing that they had to go against the press. That kept Xavier back on their heels on the offensive end.
Second free throw, good for Trowick. 57-52, and that allows Georgetown to set up their press. Xavier completely out of sync. But the Hoyas can't bail him out with fouls. Stainbrook. D. Davis. 13 to shoot. Stainbrook. 8 to shoot. Stainbrook loses it out of bounds. The pressure affecting the Musketeers. Remember, they were up by as many as 21. The momentum swinging. Xavier just trying to hold on to get a chance to play Villanova for the Big East Championship. Copeland, the freshman, has been the man to lob.
The play was there, Gus. The execution just wasn't. The back door has been open. And the question is, do you take a chance in that situation? You completed, you're a hero. You don't now. Give Xavier another chance offensively to extend this lead.
And Trowick called for the foul. Now, I see this all the time in college basketball. Over defending. Why?
And this is the point right here. By trying to, or attempting to try to take a charge, the official's not going to call that far out there like that. What's been successful for you defensively is forcing Xavier to be uncomfortable, not bailing them out.
Bluiett. And Remy Abel will come in, 58-52. Second free throw goes. (59-52). Smith Rivera driving. Trowick. And foul. Farr got his money's worth on that foul.
Dribble drive penetration. Trowick able to turn the corner and once again get that physical body. And I'm telling you, he's not afraid of contact. Up in the air, Farr that time just a little late on his rotation.
(59-53). Now Trey Campbell comes in for Smith Rivera. Smith Rivera has 4 fouls. So a defensive substitution for JT3. And both free throws good for Trowick. Now Boa comes in as Jabril heads to the bench. Don't expect him to sit long.
Basically, Xavier has 4 ball handlers on the court to handle this trap.
Bluiett looked like he traveled. No call. Miles Davis. Stainbrook, 8 to shoot. Turns. Stainbrook, no good. Bow with a rebound. Georgetown can get closer. Under a minute to go. And a timeout called by John Thompson. And now he'll get an opportunity to bring Smith, Rivera, and Trowick back in the game, as well as Josh Smith. No, now Josh Smith not coming back in the game.
2-possession game, Gus. What's been successful for you? 1, turning the corner, getting to the free throw line. 2, finding Copeland in the gap areas. Okay, you don't need a three-pointer right now. What you want to do is get a quick score, put your pressure back on, force Xavier to have to make a play offensively.
Our first game went down to the wire. Villanova beating Providence. One of teams will get an opportunity to play Villanova tomorrow in the championship. Now Josh Smith does come back onto the floor with Smith, Rivera, and Trowick, along with Copeland and White. Let's see if they go back to Copeland. Smith, Trowick, Copeland.
They're looking for him.
Smith, Rivera, 3. And the rebound to Dees. And he's fouled. A decent look.
Just for Georgetown run, the defense for Xavier has been a little lackluster, but when they needed a huge stop, when they needed to come up with a play, that possession there, they kept Georgetown.
Trowick pushes it hard. Trowick driving. Kick. White. Got a look. Bam! Point game. 23 seconds left.
Push it quick. Push it. Attack the rim. Force the defense to collapse. We're making jump shots all day, but was there when you needed White that time. 4 defenders, and that time Trevon Bluiett just losing sight of White. And you want to give up a 2, not a 3. Wow. Wow. And, you know, we always talk about high free throw percentage. A lot of that you can discount in the last few minutes of the game. You know, because obviously coaches always stress, concentrate on your free throws in practice, as you're going to need them one day to close out a game. And it's coming back to haunt Xavier.
So the shot clock is turned off again for 3 seconds. Georgetown will have to foul if they can't force a turnover. Miles Davis, and he's fouled quickly on Copeland. Xavier, though, 3 for their last 12 from the free throw line. (13 of 23 for the game as Miles goes to the line. He's 2 for 3 tonight. An 87% free throw shooter. Wow. Unbelievable. This one just got really interesting. A 1-possession game. Make or miss for Miles Davis. And he gets a second. And Chris Mack calls a timeout. 60 to 57. So if you're John Thompson III and you have the ball right now, what's your strategy? Down by 3.
Go quick. You want to maybe suck the defense in, but you want to go quick and get a quick 2. If you have an open 3, you take it. For Xavier, what's the point? You guard the 3-point line. If you give up a layup, so what? You stay on your feet on any pump fakes. You force him to take a tough shot going in, take the ball out of bounds, and get to the free throw line and knock him down.
Georgetown 5 of 19 from the 3-point line tonight. Smith Rivera, though, is a courageous player. Copeland, the freshman, has been sensational. Paul White just hit a big shot. He's hit 2 threes in this game. Freshman growing up in front of our eyes, in front of that man's eyes. White, Copeland on the floor. The future for Georgetown. Smith Rivera catches it. He'll cross the midcourt line with 19 to go. Drives to the basket. Got it up, count it, no foul. 60-59 with 14.7 to go. What an incredible turnaround.
And you know, defensively, Xavier, one, doesn't want to give up a 3, but second, they don't want to foul. So the smart thing to do, put your head down, get downhill, and attack the basket. That time, Smith Rivera able to get a quick 2.
And the way Xavier's shooting free throws right now. Four for their last 14 over an 8-minute span.
Xavier, 1 timeout. The thing you tell your player that's taking the ball out of bounds, don't throw it across your body. Take it to the player you're trying to get the ball to, because if you try to throw a long pass, that's when it can get deflected. And have the internal clock in your head. As it gets to 4, if you can't get it in, you get a timeout.
What a day of basketball at the Big East tournament. Villanova somehow managing to survive against Providence on a call at the end of the game that was questionable. Now this game, Xavier up by as many as 21 at one point. But the Hoyas, what an effort. Georgetown won't guard the ball. Bluiett the inbounder. Stainbrook to Bluiett. Stainbrook. D. Davis, and he's fouled with 10 seconds to go.
And that was excellent execution that time.
And that's the man you wanted to foul. D. Davis is 0 for 4 at the line tonight.
And you know it's going through his head right now that he hasn't been able to knock him in, but as a player, you want to be in this situation to seal the deal.
First one good.
Guys, you got to have a short memory in this game.
No timeouts for Georgetown. Jalen Reynolds coming in for Stainbrook. (61-59). Second one good for Davis. And Chris Mack calls a timeout to set his defense.
That's right. And now you're in a position, the question always come up, do you foul or do you play the defensive possession out? And the percentages say that you don't foul.
I remember Charles Barkley recently said, if a college team doesn't foul in a situation like this again, I'm going to pull my hair out and I don't have any hair.
Here's the issue that a lot of coaches have. One, they don't practice it. Second,
why don't they practice it?
They don't feel comfortable a lot of times that their team can execute it correctly. Okay? Then they also look at, okay, will we be able to get the ball inbounds after the free throws, okay? And are we shooting our free throws well enough to seal the deal? So it's a lot of what ifs and why coaches choose not to do it. But me, I'm an advocate of practicing it, sending a team to the free throw line.
So one possession game, Georgetown down by 3. 2 or 3-point attempt.
You look for a 3 in this situation, you push it up, you maybe get a switch, but Xavier, switch everything, give up a 2.
Paul White will throw it in bounds. Trowick, Smith, Rivera. They'll try to get it to Smith Rivera. He's their best player. Here's Trowick. 8 seconds. Trowick. 6 seconds. And Trowick fouled. With 5.4 to go.
And just a little thing on that, they forced Trowick to dribble with his offhand. So he wasn't as aggressive, but they got him into a spot where he can be trapped.
If he hits the first, would you miss the second?
I would. Now you can always take the chance that as soon as the ball comes in, quick foul, maybe still have 4 seconds left. No telling what happens at the other end. Does he make both free throws? I would make it set my defense, foul really quick.
Hopkins in. And Josh Smith will sit.
Hey, we need a body on ball.
So here's Trowick. And he makes it. 1-point game, 62-61. Miles Davis quickly fouled.
Now you have 4.6 seconds. That's plenty of time to get the ball down, either a 2 or a 3 to get a shot up.
Miles Davis will go to the line. He's 3 of 5 tonight. First one good. 63-61. Trey Campbell comes in. And he replaces Joshua Smith.
You guys remember, the key is force the Georgetown ball handler to catch the ball coming towards the baseline, not towards his basket with momentum.
Second one good. Stainbrook comes out, Abel back in. 4.6 seconds remaining, 64-61. Trowick the inbounder. Trowick to Campbell, back to Trowick, 3 seconds. Trowick to Copeland, and Trowick fouled at the midcourt line with 1.9 to go. Now he's going to have to miss the second free throw.
He is, yes. They come the big bodies right now to secure the rebound for Xavier.
Trowick 8 of 10 at the line, but he needs to make this first one. Now Josh Smith comes in, Hopkins comes in. They'll load up the free throw line. Trowick will try to miss this one. Jalen Reynolds in with Stainbrook. How do you miss it? Long or short?
You miss it at the front. You try to get to the front of the rim to make it carry him back out.
Trowick, and he hit it. And I don't think he intended to hit it.
No, he didn't.
D. Davis. So they're going to put 1.9 on the clock.
Guys, if you can't get the ball in, if you're Stainbrook, you want to throw it towards your basket in the backcourt.
Neither team has a timeout.
Yeah. If you can't, like I said, if you can't get it in cleanly, throw it, heave it towards the opposite rim. But you want to make sure somebody can touch it. If not, the ball comes back up out of bounds underneath, giving Georgetown an opportunity.
Hey, you stop the clock. Hey, forward.
Right. And they're saying none of the subs can come in because no time went off the clock. And I'm not sure what they're arguing now. So now it looks like Pat Driscoll has sorted things out as they prepare to give the ball to Matt Stainbrook. Here's Stainbrook, Hopkins guarding to Farr, and Farr quickly fouled with 1.3 to go. And Farr has not been to the free throw line tonight. Farr, a 46% free throw shooter on the season. Farr hit in the eye when he was fouled. And at 46%, that may help him. First one good.
Step right up, Gus.
Told you Farr is a glue guy on this team. Second free throw, no good. Rebounded, White, and that's it. Wow, what a game though. The final score, Xavier holds on, and they defeat Georgetown 65-63 and advance to the Big East Tournament Championship game, where they'll take on Villanova tomorrow. Fox Sports Live starts now.
All right, thanks, Gus. Ryan Field, Don Bell. We'll send it right back out to MSG in a second for a complete recap from the Big East Tournament.
Yeah, we got you covered all over conference tournament action. Kentucky battles Florida, Duke, North Carolina, Virginia, Wisconsin, all in action. And we've got all the highlights. But first, let's send it back out to the bright lights in the big city. Gus Johnson.
All right, thank you very much. What a game tonight, especially the second half. Georgetown, they look dead in the water, but somehow manage to rally behind some terrific play from freshman Isaac Copeland after being down by 21. But Xavier holds on, and they'll play in the title tomorrow. Here's Molly.
Thanks, Gus. Coach, what a gutsy game. You withstood a tough run by Georgetown. How were you able to pull this one out?
Well, I'm glad it didn't go overtime, because we might have lost by 15 points the way it felt there in the second half. Give a lot of credit to Georgetown for being poised, making shots against our zone, and we missed a few free throws that honestly put us behind the 8 ball a little bit. But I mean, you get to this stage and you're playing to play for a Big East championship tomorrow night. Our seniors really haven't been in that position before. I'm proud of our team.
Matt Stainbrook with a near double-double. How was he able to take advantage of Georgetown's big men tonight?
Well, he got Josh in foul trouble. We tried to run him around a little bit. When he was out, it was a different team for Georgetown, especially at the end of the first half and then the beginning of the second half. Really jumped on him. But Matt's been that guy all year. He's a terrific player. We're going to need another big-time effort out of him tomorrow night.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck tomorrow. Let's send it over to Rob Stone.
All right, thank you, Molly. And we are joined by the man that Coach Mack was just talking about, Matt Stainbrook. Matt, first of all, you had that big lead, and Georgetown just kept pecking away at it. That technical foul seemed to really turn things in favor for the Hoyas. Why did things turn south on you guys at that point?
You know what? I think we started to play a little bit tentative. Wasn't playing our basketball. Got less aggressive. That's something that we're going to fix. And I think going into the championship game, we know what we need to do to contend with those guys.
Listen, Matt, when you come into these games, obviously every game is a big game, and you take different challenges. But coming into this game tonight, Joshua Smith had to be on your mind, a guy that's weirdly enough bigger than you, and I know you don't meet a lot of people like that, but it had to be a personal challenge for you to come out the right way.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's a really good player, and I think he showed it. And I wanted to do my best to make it that my teammates didn't have to rely on helping me. I wanted to try to guard him one-on-one, and my teammates did a good job of pressuring him to pick up the ball, and it was tough.
I always want to give big guys the assist, so I'm going to assist and tell him to bring it
up. There we go. Sorry, a little bit close.
I always wanted to give Stainbrook an assist.
Nobody expects you guys to win tomorrow night.
Yep.
I'm not sure anybody expects you to win tonight. It shows the depth of this league. What do you think your chances are realistically against Villanova? Do you win? Don't you win?
You know what? I think we're going to play 40 minutes tough. We're going to give our best, and you know what? We're never counting ourselves out. We know that we're a good team. And
you've been at the Donnie Marshall School of Broadcasting. Where you're going to say you got to win, man.
I'm not. We're not scared of anyone. That's all. That's all I know. We're not scared of anyone.
Matt, I just want something quickly. This is 2 games in a row now. Chris Mack, you guys have showed a resilience. This team during the season, obviously, you're bigger, you're stronger than a lot of teams, but these last 2 games have to mean a lot, especially this time of year for you.
Yeah, no, it means a ton. Going to the tournament, we want to peak in March. We're not worried about how we're doing in November and December, but this is a time where it really counts, and I think our team's peaking at the right time. And going to this game is going to be a pivotal moment for us.
Matt, where have you guys improved as a team over the course of the last 2 long evenings here at MSG?
You know what? I think we've done a decent job of finishing games. Now, tonight probably wasn't the best example of that, but earlier in the season, we had some overtime losses. We had some close games that we should finish off, and we didn't. And I think that's where our team's grown. And although it didn't show tonight, we're getting it together.
You're not going to take an Uber shift tonight here in Manhattan, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm too tired. But once we get back from this tournament, I'll probably get a couple shifts.
And hopefully some good tippers. Matt Stainbrook, we appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Matt.
Game high in points for Matt Stainbrook. Xavier survives for the 2nd straight night, and they move on to tomorrow night's championship game. Coverage begins live 7 Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1. It'll be Villanova taking on Xavier.